Hi. So I've not done an Instagram live in like a while, but I just wanted to do this, and I hope it catches on so you can tell a lot of people I'm on Instagram. I mean, it feels odd being here, and I just want to say a couple of words to a lot of Nigerians, and most importantly, for those fanning the embers of war, I'd like to advise you, please stop it. And I'll quickly tell you about nationhood, a little bit about nationhood, for you to be able to understand. And the truth has to be said. Okay, let me drive in. The truth has to be said. Every nation passes through its own challenges. Every nation passes through its own challenges. And those challenges can either make a nation stronger. And I know in the case of Nigeria, it's because those challenges are very, very daunting. That's why we feel, oh, it's the end of the world. Nothing good can come out of Nigeria. But truth has to be said, Nigeria is not a hopeless case. Despite the fact that we see a lot of hopelessness around, it's not a hopeless case. And there's no nation that's not gone through what we're going through now. But the question is, what are we doing? Everybody wants to run to Canada now. But Canada used to be very hopeless in the 70s. About 50 years ago. Where Nigeria was where Canada was. Front de Liberación best. Until a certain man called Elliot Trudeau, that's Pierre Trudeau's father, came. And he transformed Canada. Changed the laws, made a lot of Canadians bilingual. Prior to that time, those in the English-speaking part of Canada were those that spoke English. Those in the French-speaking part spoke French. But after the reforms of Trudeau in the 70s, English and French became spoken by politicians across the aisle. Then he brought Canada together. And he made Canada what it is today. Interest rate used to be 16.5% in Canada. It was terrible. Terrible interest rate. People were crying and suffering. Canada was a beehive of constant protests. But leadership turned it around. I know the challenge in Nigeria is we fought a civil war. The challenge is a case of leadership. I know we don't have that leadership now, and we've not had it in the years in Nigeria. And that's why a lot of people feel sad about the country. But you see, we can't afford to leave our country because it is only our country. And it is the only country we have. And I think it is a very, very painful thing to ask, when is it going to happen? Because if our leaders are thinking right, they need to be able to give us what will help us as a people. And it's painful anytime we ask, when is it going to happen? But the truth has to be said. It is still our country, and it will happen. And the best we can do as citizens is to deal in hope. And it is that same hope that makes us never give up on our country and the process. And I'm saying this because I interact with a lot of Nigerians, and it looks as though a lot of people are giving up. Because this is the only country we've got. And if you're not hopeful, nothing is going to come. If you run away to Canada, who's going to build your country? Yeah, you might be safe in Canada, but you're a second-class citizen. I'm not saying, it's all bright here. But I'm saying we can stay back and make it work. And the fact about, there's hopelessness. There is hope amidst hopelessness. In fact, why it's called hopelessness is because there's hope. The first word in the long word of hopelessness is hope. So when people postulate those negative narrative, I'm not saying I don't face the challenges in Nigeria. I'm not saying I'm immune. I'm not saying the country has not done me bad. I have experiences. But I've come to understand that this is the only nation we've got. And no matter if I even have a British passport, or I have an American passport, or I have a Canadian passport, which I don't have, this is still the only place where I will feel like it's home. And the citizen needs to get on board. Because if you don't get on board as a citizen and do what is right, then how are we going to build a country? Because it is citizen participation that builds a country. I'm saying robust participation. I'm saying people even going out to vote during elections. I'm saying people going to do what is right. I'm saying people being accountable in their own little space. That's what builds a nation. And no nation is perfect. No nation will ever be perfect. But nations will evolve. And we're passing through a phase now, and it's going to be an evolution. But at the end of this phase, will it get better or will it get worse? Will be based on what the citizen thinks of their country. The most important person in a country is not the leader. It is the follower. It is the citizen. That's why I'm talking to you. If you think it's the leader, then you don't even know how a country is run. You are oblivious of how a country is run. A leader of a country is reflective of the followers. Corruption is reflective of followership. If the leader personally is corrupt and the followers are not corrupt, how will he execute his corruption? He needs people. People come with him. People stand with him. The civil servants that steal all the money in corrupt activities, it's still people. So, and that's why I'm saying this. What part are you playing as a follower? What have you been able to do right yourself? A lot of followers that shout that Nigeria is bad, they are worse than the leadership. They are worse than the leadership. Countries will evolve. The strength of every country will always be in the decision its citizens make. It's an illusion to think the leadership does not need the people. Because if they truly do not need the people, every 4 years, they wouldn't even hold elections. One way or the other, we need each other. And the reason why the leadership has been able to perpetrate the corruption they perpetrate is because some section of the followership have joined them and have stolen from the country too. But once we change our minds, the day Nigerians truly change their minds, that's when the leadership will come. You know what? Every nation deserves the leader it gets. The leaders we are getting thus far in Nigeria is a reflection of who we are as a people. But the day we say money will never count in our politics any longer, that's the thing things will start to change. So when will the good leader come? If you ask me that question, I'll answer you the day Nigerians collectively change. But as far as we are not collectively changing, that money still makes an important part of our politics, that we still take bribes and the likes, no true change will come. If it's next year, we are ready. If it's 10 years' time, we are ready. That's the time the change will come. If it's 15 years, we're ready. That's the time it will come. So your problem, my problem, is not the politicians. It is us fixing our own part of the bargain. The day we start to say no when they bring their 10 or 20 naira for us to vote for them, that's the day the true leadership will come. The day we can chase a political money bag and say it's not about money, it's about us, the people, that's the day the change will come. The day we can say that we want to vote for a man that doesn't have money and single-handedly print posters for him because we know he's a man of integrity, that's the day the change will come. The day we stand up and say our lives will not be ruled by people that think of money alone, but what they can do for the people, that's the day the change will come in Nigeria. I put it to you today, no matter how you see it, we Nigerians are still the ones holding back the day of our joy. It is not the leader. The day we decide and say we want to get it right with leadership, that's the day truly things will start happening for us. The day we come together and say special interest will no longer rule our politics, that's the day. The day we say, oh, it's integrity we want to look at in a political party or a political candidate, that's the day. Because you see, if you vote en masse for a candidate of integrity, nobody can rig you out of the ballot. Nothing is as powerful as an idea whose time has come. The question is, what do we want for our nation? Nations pass through ups and downs. I just told the story of Canada. If Canada had not had a symbolic leader like Elliot Trudeau, but it was because the Canadians went to the polls and said, it is this man that can bring the country together. So, the day we decide and say we'll shun evil, the day we decide and say we'll shun bigotry, the day we decide and we'll say it's not about your ethnic group, but it's about your efficiency and how you can serve the people, that's the day things will change. And we can truly do it. Nigerians have the capacity to do it. When Nigerians needed to vote in 93, they didn't remember the fact that it was a Muslim ticket. All they just wanted was a candidate that can make things work. So they can do it. Why this ethnic polarization? Why this religious polarization? And we sacrifice that on the altar of nationhood and integrity. It's because we, as a people, we have decided not to be focused. We have decided that these politicians could manipulate us. I can see my great Oga Olisagbakoba saying the rot is very deep. The mind needs to be worked on. Yes, sir, that's why I'm doing this video. That's why we need to change the mind of a lot of Nigerians. They've been able to ingrain this rot so deep in our minds But we can change it. We can change it. Let's not allow anybody swindle us. We can change it. Nigeria has no problem being poor. Nigeria has no problem being poor. Mahatma Gandhi said, the world has enough to meet human need, not human greed. It's because certain groups of people want to meet their greed. That's why we're in poverty. I beg you, if this is the way I can reach out to you, I will come up on Instagram and talk about this mind change. You might not agree with me, but I know once I keep talking about it, you start to see reasons with me. And it starts with the next election. Don't collect money from anybody. When they bring their money, say no. Say they should go and spend that money on working for the people. Tell them to use the money to help the people. Let it start from there. When they bring their millions, say no. Say they should go and spend that money on working for the people. Because that is only the way we can change things. When they bring the billions, say no. You should go and spend the money working on the people. We should provide schools. We should provide security. We should provide housing. We should provide amenities, the good things of life. We should provide pipe-borne water. It is sad that Lagos calls itself a megapolis and we don't have pipe-borne water. And guess what? The first pipe-borne water, the borehole, was dug in 1912, 1913. A lot of people don't know that it is because of pipe-borne water, the tax on pipe-borne water the British said we should pay, that Eshugba Yeleko revolted. That was why he was sent out of the throne. So pipe-borne water came to Lagos in 1912. And as 2021, we don't still have pipe-borne water in most parts of Lagos. And the first pipe-borne water came in 1912. So pipe-borne water is over 100 years old in Lagos. We should start to address that. So when they come with their money, tell them to build pipe-borne waters. Tell them you want to pay water rates. That if the water works is supplying water, you pay the rates. So tell them to go and use that money. When you refuse them from the money, and also the INEC officials refuse bribe from them, then there's no way they'll rig. And the policeman refused to collect bribe and support them, there's no way they'll rig. There's no way they'll rig. And the youths have to be involved. The youths have to be involved. Because if the youths are not involved, then nothing will be done. And you see, great man, great mind, Mr. Bakowa is saying here that I'm more concerned with this I know send attitude of the majority of our youth. It is scary. The youths have to be involved. You need to come out and be counted. You need to come out on election day and vote. You can't say they've destroyed the country and you move on. No. There was never a time the country did anything for us. There was never a time. There was never a time. But we have just decided that we will make it a generation that will make things work for ourselves. Every generation will answer a question. What dents did they make in the history of nationhood? That's the question every generation will answer. Our fathers have answered theirs. When are we going to answer ours? 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 Look at the unemployment numbers today. My heart sank. That's 62% cumulatively. Young people out of work. We need to provide jobs. We need to provide those jobs. That's what leadership is. We need to provide jobs. We need to bring people out of that poverty. Can it be done? Yes, it can be done. If it's to provide a new deal like Teddy Roosevelt, if it's to say people should dig and you give them money for digging, they must have a sense of work. We must have hope in our system. We must force the hope out. Because life can be hopeless. Life can be hopeless, and I've had my own fair share. My mom died at the age of 7. I saw somebody die for the first time at the age of 6. I know hopelessness. I know pain. I know disappointments. But I've come to see that your perspective, despite the hurt, is an internal thing. Your hope is not dependent on what you see. I know setbacks. I know cruelty. I've not gotten to the point when I will write my memoir, a lot of you will read it and you will cry. I know hatred. Hatred. I have seen it. I know voodoo. There was a day I woke up in the morning, I was paralyzed for 4 months. I know spiritual manipulation, but I also know the power of hope that tears all these things to asunder. I know the power of pain. I know false accusations. I have been hurt. I have been beaten. I know homelessness. At a point I was homeless in this same Lagos. This same Lagos. I remember how we set up tents to sleep under tents where the security guards had slept. I did that for 2 nights. But in all of this, I know hope and persistence brings everybody out of the pain. The road will never always be right. It will be rough. But in all of this, we've got no other place to go to. There's no other place to go to. I've had my own fair share. What do you want to tell me I've not faced? Paid for real estate 4 times because of a monile. So what you want to tell me? But please, in all of this, it is the only place we've got. And it is what will make it, it will become. And in all of this hopelessness, I have seen the biggest level of kindness still in this same Nigeria. I have seen angels walk on the streets paved with hopelessness. I have seen hearts that God is jealous of reek with kindness in this country. I have seen people that are steadfast. If not for anything, I will carry on because of those people. Because all the people that do all the wrong things do not represent what Nigeria is. It's still a kind country. And there's still a lot of good-hearted people. I have seen pain.
But yet I have seen people that will give their life to stop the pain of others, and they are Nigerians. And they have nothing. Things will be better. Sorry about the audio problem. I gotta go now. I appreciate you. And trust me, I'm going to be coming back here to do this as always. Maybe this will help the mindset of people. It will be well for all of us.